Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We get a list of 15 properties today, including the last one, which I'm totally head over heels for. Love it. And let's talk about some homes. Now, the first one up, well, let's just say this. When you sell a house, you have control over a couple things. The price that you choose to ask. Remember, buyers determine values, sellers determine their price. So buyers ultimately are going to look and say, what's the best value for me to purchase. Now, you control the condition of the home unless you have enough children, and then you don't. But the point is that there's some level of control you have inside. What you don't have control over is when somebody comes in and undercuts you by $30,000 or $40,000, which is what these guys on Sprague did. The other two versions of this home that are for sale are above the $550,000 range, and these guys come in and it's maybe not as nice inside, but there's not a lot you can do to these in terms of increasing value, mostly just changing the floors and a couple of kitchen upgrades. Anyway, this is a good price. I mean, we're seeing the smaller versions, like inside units with 200-300 less square feet, asking between $5,000 and $520,000. So this one is very attractively priced. You've got 2 bedrooms, plus you have a main floor office here, or a den, or whatever you want to use it for. Yeah, this is serious business. This is a lot lower than I would have expected, especially with things like quartz counters. You could take the carpets out. It wouldn't cost you too much in a home like this. Now, to me, this one on First Line, Nasagoya, is... there's a bunch of garbage by the sign. Like, I don't know if it's the best presentation. Well, look, that's a grass road. And here's the thing. If you're going to sell vacant land, show me where it is in relation to everything else. Like, to show me like 4 pieces of a field, I don't think is really doing this justice. Like, show me the shape of the land. Show me, is it close to an intersection? Like, tell me where it is. And to just do this, it's pointless. Almost pointless. Now, I don't know if this one on Fraser Court was maybe rented at some point. So this was a garage, and they turned it into a family room, which is pretty common for this area. I guess that's what the pool looks like when it's in good shape. And then you'll see another one where it's been completely drained and the liner's gone. So they're selling it as is. A new liner's at least a couple $1,000s. I don't know what the condition of the lines and everything else is. Home inspectors will typically not inspect a pool, so you're kind of doing that separately. I'd want to check and make sure that garage had a permit. This flooring, like a kind of a cherry red laminate floor, is not sexy in anybody's book. Neither is that tile. So the thing is, if this stuff is new, I think that I think one of the best investments you could make is hiring a designer before you make your upgrades and finishes. It costs a little bit more, but it makes a huge difference. And this is the value of a house. We're talking about almost $750,000, and none of these finishes are going to tickle anyone's fancy at all. Tough one to sell, because at that point, you're now dealing, like I said yesterday, you're now in wholesale pricing versus retail, and you get beat up on it. Now, if it wasn't for the last property in the list, I would consider this one on Vickerman. Actually, there's a couple really good ones. Bell, which you're going to see in a second, also amazing. But Vickerman, Juniper model, about 2,300 square feet. What people love about these homes is that it's a 40 by 100 foot lot, which is the same lot that you see in some of the mature areas like Bronte Meadows. And so you kind of get like a new home, but you get an old Milton lot, which is fantastic. Anyway, nice sized lot. Remember, so Mattamy home is 80 to 88 feet. It's 100 feet. Your neighbor's also that much further away too. So you're getting like anywhere from 20 to 40 extra square feet between you and your neighbor. And these homes feel very, very private. They're also big enough to put a pool. But good finishes. Like that bathroom is obviously not standard builder finishes. They've done the moldings here. They've upgraded the flooring. I've said this for years on Daily Homes. If your laundry room looks like that, the rest of the house is probably pretty good. You've got this high slope ceiling here and decent sized kitchen. Front, you've got a dining room, then a front, I guess you call that a living room, but it's basically a little office seating area. I put some records in here and a couple bottles of scotch, and that would be my little play area. Maybe once in a while get some work done. So, beautiful house. So when the market was peaking, we were starting to see that some of the old Milton double garages were going over $1 million. It's getting harder to do that. So you got to bring the heat, and this one on Bell definitely does. It's on the kind of the bottom stretch of Bell, closer to Laurier, John Tonelli Sports Center. 4 bedrooms, 4 washrooms. You get a 120-foot deep lot, 55 wide. You've got pretty much a completely renoed home. I don't always love when people say over $250K in renos, because if you actually itemize that list, sometimes people put things like televisions and couches and all that. But I do think a rather substantial amount of money has been spent in this home. Wine cellar. Don't see that very often in Old Milton. The bathroom downstairs is better than just about every upstairs bathroom we've seen. That pool is well constructed. So this pool alone is probably 50 for the pool, maybe another 30 to 40 for all the landscaping and equipment. And you got a covered porch here. You can barbecue, as long as you want. Even in the winter, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's fantastic. Lots of driveway space. It's everything somebody would want in like that move up home. And almost always the person who buys this home lives in the new area in like a Mattamy townhouse or a semi-detached, Green Park semi-detached. And they just want more space, both in the home, getting a double garage, getting a finished basement, the 4 bedrooms. This one just checks all those boxes for people. One of the least affected price ranges in Milton is actually the plus $1 million range. And so you do find that, like in any sort of top 10 or 20%, whether it's Oakville, Milton, Mississauga, Toronto, you start to see a little bit more resilience there because the buyers have a different qualifying criteria financially. Anyway, this one is, as far as I know, the largest floor plan available from a builder. I don't think anyone builds more than 4,000 square feet. This one is. That being said, I've seen 3,400, 3,300 square feet that still have 5 bedrooms, 4 washrooms, still have all the same rooms as this one. And I guess my question is, how much space do you need? If your master bedroom here is 17 by almost 16, would you be okay with a 14 by 13 master bedroom? What I'm trying to say is if you cut down all the rooms on this model by 10, 15%, are you going to feel it? I think the answer is not really. So 4,000 square feet, but you can pretty much get a similar layout that's still quite spacious for less than this. Anyway, 1.298 compares well with what else is sold. There was a Rockhaven on, which is just a little bit smaller, 3,970 square feet, that sold for 1.29. Over on Boughton about a month and a half ago. So they priced it well. That Boughton one had a little bit of finished area in the basement. This one does not, but they're in a good range. So here we go. Last one, Bell School Line. One of my favorite streets. My wife and I always comment about how much we love Bell School Line because it's close to town. You get great views on the escarpment. I'm going to play this video. So it's 2.4 million. You get a lot of finished space here on 3 acres. So you're more than, it says between 3,500 and 5,000 square feet. Walkout basement pool. So let's start this video. I turned the sound off because I'm going to put my own soundtrack in. There we go. Gotta love Jones for this one. So the views here, fantastic. You get a pool. It's all nice and enclosed. There's a little kind of awning. Maybe that's a little too loud. Maybe my Love Jones is too big. Anyway, you've got lovely, on this part of the escarpment, you've got nice grade separation, cabana just outside, solar panels. That's probably solar heating for the pool, but it might be for the inside of the house. Yeah, nice driveway, play some basketball there. Got some flagstone in the dining room, so this almost feels like kind of an indoor-outdoor room. Anyway, I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but look at the views outside of the window. I've had clients that have, I've sold homes on the escarpment. Let me turn down Love Jones, actually. I do have a Love Jones, so I'm going to turn that song off. I've had clients that have said to me, you can see weather coming in. They've said, I can check out the 401 before I actually get on it. You can see the entire town. You can even on a clear day see the CN Tower. And so it's just a nice kind of modern, it has almost kind of a European feel to it. I just love how everything's nice and enclosed, the pool, the indoor-outdoor. I think the minimalist, everything about this one to me is great. And I probably see 2 homes a year in Daily Homes that I think, man, that is fantastic. And this one is one of them. So very excited to bring that to you. And that is the episode for the day. All right, I'll put a link down to Love Jones if you want to hear the song in full. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.